Blackhawk, your own little corner of my heart. Kicks 105.5, a good morning to you. I'm Sean Knight. And as he does, he joins us Wednesdays, 10 till 8. Good Policies with Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance Agency. There, don't squeal on me there, brother.
Whoa.
Squealer.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? Now you're awake. That coffee didn't do it, but a little squeak in your ear will.
Yeah, a little squeaky squeak makes you wakey.
So you and I have had conversations off the air about insurance, and one of the things that I wanted to discuss was when going with a more reputable, and that's what I consider you. Don't laugh.
Okay.
You're going to laugh.
All right.
Going with a more reputable, they require a little more upfront because your rate is a little lower, or it covers you in a better way right from the get-go. What is the difference between having your reputable company with insurance carriers that are, on the A list versus going with somebody like the General? And I hate to actually name names, but It's something I've seen on TV a lot. And I think, okay, if I can get $20 insurance from the General, why am I going to spend $200 a month? And so that's sort of where my conversation thinking was this morning.
Interesting. So, in general, where's the bell? My goodness.
I'm sorry. I haven't had coffee.
A little squeak didn't wake you up. But generally speaking, I could go all day.
Okay.
Try the veal.
Here, why don't you just take the damn bell and give yourself your own program?
I don't believe the General is actually available in Vermont, so I've not done a lot of research on them. Believe it or not, what I do is I'll go to all the direct carriers, all the online companies, if you will, and I quote myself regularly. And regularly meaning probably once every 3 to 6 months, I'll just pick somebody and I'll quote and just get an idea of what's going on, what the pricing structure is going to look like, what the process is for the consumer, because I'm going in as an insurance professional. Sorry, still makes me laugh a little bit. But I'm going in with the knowledge of the business and the coverage available, and I am trying to see where people may get misled, where people may see this incredible amount of savings. Because when people tell me, look, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go with you anymore.
Yeah,
I have this amazing
deal.
deal.
$10 a year.
Right.
You're like,
I've got a
$5
every 5-year policy. I'm like, good for you, go for it. But ultimately, it comes down to, in many cases, and I will say not all, but in many cases, it comes to sacrificing coverage. It really does. I'll give you an example. There is a direct carrier that lets you choose your price, to not necessarily use their term.
I wonder if they have a tool that you could hold in your hand, like a name your price tool.
Well, that's a wonderful thing. They're turning insurance into a commodity, and insurance is not a commodity. It's a necessary evil, yes, but it's not a commodity. It is protection for you.
I mean, honestly, what the hell does that mean? Name your own price. I'd like to pay $7 and a tuna fish sandwich every month for car insurance.
Easy.
That's a deal.
Naming your own price means you most likely will get state minimum coverage in your state, which in Vermont is split limit coverage of bodily injury liability of $25,000 bodily injury per person and $50,000 per accident, and then a $10,000 limit for property damage. So let's think for a minute. You get that great price, and you're driving down the road, and God forbid you strike a vehicle and you injure its passengers. What if you're on the interstate? What if it's a major incident? What if you rear-ended a bus? How far is that $25,000 going to go per person?
Generally, not even one person.
Right. How far is that $50,000 total bodily injury per accident going to go? Not very far.
Are you then responsible through having to go? Do you have to go to court and generally, let's say you did hit a bus full of school children, the parents sue you. Mm-hmm. You've then exhausted that $25,000 off the top, probably so easily. Could have been the driver that took that right away.
Right.
So then you're on the hook for could be $500,000.
Right. I mean, and many times what happens is the company that insures the vehicle you struck will cover the injuries with uninsured motorist protection coverage that's most likely going to be on their policy. But I'll tell you right now, companies really prefer to find a way to get their money back if they can.
Yeah.
And if it's your liability, guess what? They're going to look at you and they're going to say, does he or she have a house? Do they have a trust fund?
They will
Do they
take
have a
your
savings
dog.
account? Do they have a retirement? They're going to look at your assets and see what they can snag to try to recoup their loss. So that is what insurance is. It's not a commodity. It is protection. So that's just the
Very well
liability
put.
part. And if you go to the next item, medical payments. I have a $5,900 deductible for my health insurance. All right. So if I get in an accident and I have to go to the hospital, on the first $5,900, it's me. And then my health insurance will kick in. I have medical payments on my policy with a limit of $10,000. And that $10,000 can be used however I need it. And that limit is for me and for anyone else in my car. They each have that limit. So if it's my son, my wife, and myself, we each have up to $10,000 of medical payments coverage if we were to be in an accident. That is invaluable because that medical payment coverage does not require fault. So it can be your fault, it can be their fault, it can be no one else's fault. I mean, it's incredible. If you sustain an injury in an accident in your vehicle, medical payments coverage will help you. Also, many companies, I think the medical payments coverage will protect you as a pedestrian. You're crossing the street and whack, you get hit by an uninsured car.
Yeah, we just had that occur actually in Barrie the other day.
Oh gosh, yes, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to think about when you're naming your own premium. And then, so a lot of times they won't even give it to you. So now you're looking at a minimum liability policy with the state minimum limits. And mind you that the state minimum liability is $25,000, $50,000. The uninsured motorist minimum liability is $50,000, $100,000. So it's twice. I don't get it, but that's how the state of Vermont has the rule. And then if you go down to the physical damage coverage for your car, comprehensive and collision, you're easily looking at $1,000 deductibles. So how well covered are you for saving? And let's believe it or not, it's really not going to be a tremendous amount of savings to do that kind of pricing. And I'm not trying to call that a bad way to do it. That is totally fine, but don't just look for price. Look for coverage. Look for something that fits your needs. If you're a 20-year-old with no assets and nothing out there and just trying to get by, sure, maybe you want to go with a lower limit of liability. The older you get, you have a family, you have a house, you have a secondary house, you have a camper, you have all these great things that you've accumulated and worked so hard for all your life. Do you really want state minimum liability to be that level of protection in front of it?
No. Just taking it from you.
So it's really important just to do your research, understand what you're getting.
And speaking of research, if you'd like to have a conversation about this or any other thing about insurance, anytime you would like, you could stop by and talk to Mike Barrett at Barrett Insurance Agency. We can continue good policies next Wednesday, and we'll find a topic that we can ramble on about. But if you'd like,
we had nothing to talk about this morning.
We did pretty good.
You did really well.
Thank you. Okay. So
I'm going to buy one of those. I just really enjoy it.
That was my Christmas gift for my daughter.
Yeah.
I've always had one, and I seem to lose them quite often. I don't think losing. I think people steal them from me.
Yeah.
They're like, take that stupid bell from him. All right. So if you want to get in contact with him, you can do so by calling
748-5224. Visit our website, thebarrettagency.com. We're also on Google+, YouTube, and Facebook as Barrett Insurance Agency, and you can find us on the Better Business Bureau website as Barrett Insurance Agency as well.
Thanks so much, buddy. Have a great
good
day.
one.
Bye.